Hey guys, welcome back to the Martin Family channel. Today we're doing a much requested video. We are not even answering really. We're just telling you guys what the hardest things about being married young are and what the hardest things about being a parent young are.
Yeah. So basically we're just going to do our top answer for each one and we're just going to go back and forth. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
Mine actually kind of fit into this, like, the category of both. Like, they go towards both of them. But I would say that the hardest thing about being married young is just expecting to right off the bat be financially well off. Because we're 20 years old, like, we both haven't even been in our careers that long.
Oh.
Most people at 20 years old, don't even have their careers. Luckily, I do, since I went to cosmetology school. But, like, as a mom, it's hard to work enough to where it's worth it to put Carson in daycare 24/7. So it makes more logical sense and more financial sense to be home with him rather than to be at work. So I really just work because I love my job and because, like, a day off of being a stay-at-home mom is, like, much needed a lot of the times. I don't think that stay-at-home moms or working moms get enough credit. Like, I don't think that moms really get enough credit for how hard it actually is to be a stay-at-home mom. But then if I was working 24/7, I can't imagine how hard that would be too, because then someone else is getting to see all of, like, the cool things that your baby is, like, experiencing. Also, by the way, Carson's eating right now, so that's why I'm, like, covered up by a bunch of stuff. Carson's eating. But so, like, Tyler always says to me, like, we're 20 years old. No one expects us to have $1,000 in our bank account and, like, $5,000 in our savings account. Like, he says that all the time. And to me, like, that's hard for me to not just, like, let that click and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, you're saving money because it takes time to save money. And so, like, just as long as you're putting some money away, that's all that really matters. So that's the hardest thing for me about being married young.
Yeah. Total side note, and then I'm going to go into my answer. The whole stay-at-home mom thing, for real, it is, you know, I go on daddy daycare about once a week maybe while she's at work and my off day, and it is, like, so hard. I mean, they will scream, they will cry, they will do whatever, they will throw it, they will scratch it, they will do whatever they want to get what they want. It is not easy. So quick shout out to not only my incredible wife, but all stay-at-home moms, because as a young husband and young dad, it is incredibly hard, and, you know, it's not a job that anybody can do. So shout out to you. You're all incredible.
Okay, but also it's hard. It's probably hard to not be, like, be a dad that gets to be at home as often as, like, you want to, because he works a lot. So then I can be a stay-at-home mom, but I think that also doesn't get enough credit and enough recognition either. So shout out to you and all the working dads.
So yeah, I think the hardest part for me about being married young is the fact that, okay, we still need to do our testimony video, by the way.
Yeah. Just
throwing that out there. But the reason I say that is because a lot of you don't know my testimony, and I went through a serious party stage, did about everything under the sun.
Dummy.
And kind of, you know, the Lord found me and saved me, obviously, but, like, just because I changed my life doesn't mean everybody did or should or has to. But, like, you know, a lot of my friends aren't married, aren't having kids, aren't, you know, living that lifestyle. And it just makes it really hard for me because, you know, I have a lot of friends that will hit me up and be like, hey, let's go get some food, you know, and it's 9 o'clock. And, you know, any other guy that's not married or has a 3-month-old could be like, yeah, bet, where, when, who's driving? But for me, I got to be like, my son's been in bed for an hour and, you know, I can't leave her alone because it's not an easy job. And I have work at 6 a.m. So, you know, it's just really hard to, like, let that transition set in because, you know, I'm still 20 years old, and I really like hanging out with my friends and have a lot of friends, and you know, it's just really hard to not be able to, you know, just do whatever I want because I'm no longer
Available all the time.
available. Yeah, that's the best word.
Tyler literally has more friends than anyone I know. He can literally make friends with the wind. I swear on my life. Like, he literally makes friends everywhere he goes, no matter where we're at. Someone knows him. Like, we go to the mall and someone knows him. So, I mean, I hope that we get well known on YouTube, but we're in serious trouble if we get well known on YouTube because, man, this boy already knows too many people.
I do know a lot of people.
It's not just a quick trip to the mall. Like, we go to the mall and there's 30 minutes added on because we run into someone Tyler knows. And Tyler can talk for 5 hours. He says that I can talk. This man can talk.
Yeah, I can't talk.
But, like literally, Tyler has someone text him every single day about hanging out. And I don't have that. I have people, like, text me to hang out every once in a while. But, so I can imagine, like, how hard that is for Tyler because he...
Right. And I really I try my absolute hardest to make everything work.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I have priorities, and I will prioritize my priorities. So,
yeah.
So now, the hardest thing about being a parent young, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the hardest thing for me about being a parent young is that I now have... It's so much easier, like, when you put this in your notes on your phone than it is to, like, say it. I think the hardest part for me is for sure just the fact that, like, I'm 20 years old. I have a 3-month-old coming up on 4 months in 2 days. But
2 days?
Monday?
Today's the 4th.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know what the heck that was. But anyway. Sorry. I thought it was every Monday. No, that was your week.
Whenever I was pregnant, every Monday I was a week further along in my pregnancy. Okay. But yeah.
Every
Monday he does, like, add a week to how long he's been born, but we don't keep track of that because we think that's kind of weird.
My bad. Okay. Anyway, that was really stupid. But the hardest part for me being a young dad is definitely the fact that I'm still 20 years old. You know, he's going to be 4 months old this month. Got it right.
On the 23rd.
Yeah, on the 23rd. But...
Not on the 6th.
I'm, like I said, I'm 20 years old. I'm still growing. I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning my wife. We are still growing together in our marriage. I can't even legally drink. Like, you know what I mean? And the fact that I have a little boy that is going to, already does look up to me for guidance.
And relies on you for everything.
For everything. You know, we are his parents. And I think that's just the hardest part for me is that, you know, I now have the responsibility of raising my son, and I'm still trying to figure out life myself.
Yeah, you're kind of like raising yourself as you raise a kid.
Yeah. And I think that's just the hardest part. And the fact that, like, you can't just, like, hit pause on life. You know what I mean? Like, there's no pause button. There's no rewind. There's no fast forward. You never know where you're going to be in 6 months. You never know where you're going to be tomorrow. But the thing, and I think it's just hard for me because this is my life. This will always be my life. It's just a matter, like, I'm going to take this life everywhere that life takes me. And, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, I'm just trying to figure it all out because at the same time, I'm a firm believer that even in your marriage, you still have to have me time and personal time. Yeah. And in that time, I'm still trying to find myself. Not that I have, like, it sounds really bad, but, you know, I'm about to go back to school next year. And, you know, I have some other big dreams that I'm trying to, like, set into place along with that. But, you know, I can't just be like, yep, I'm doing that because...
We tag along.
Because I have this, and they're not just tagging along, you know. I will lead them and guide them, but,
nope,
you know.
We're just tagging along.
What I want to do isn't about what I want to do. If that makes any sense at all, let that sit in. You're probably going to think about that for the next 30 minutes, but it's all right. But yeah, those are the two hardest things for me.
Okay, now let me say my hardest thing. My hardest thing is that whenever my friends, like, I love my friends to death. This is no hate against them, but I hate that I can't hang out with them whenever they all hang out normally, because everyone works. Like, all of my friends, they work even whenever they go to school, like go to college. So shout out to them, because whenever I was in cosmetology school, it was really hard for me to like even have the motivation to work. So seriously, my friends are champs. But like, working and going to college is hard, and they all do it, and so they don't get to hang out until like after 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. So like Tyler was saying, if someone asks to hang out that late, it's hard for me to go and hang out that late. Like, Tyler, we let that swing sometimes. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure, go watch a movie with your friends, go pick up your friend, like, do whatever you want, your friend can come here. But I can't do that because I breastfeed him, and so that just makes it really hard, because for me, breastfeeding is the hardest part about being a young parent, and I think that that's hard being a parent in general. But I think being a young parent, because most older parents, they are capable of like getting off of work and then just going and doing whatever plans they have at 6 o'clock. Whereas my friends, they get out of classes, then they go to work, and then they're ready to hang out. And so by the time that my friends are normally ready to hang out, I am not able to hang out anymore, because it's time for him to be put down to bed. And if he wakes up in an hour, like he has been lately, because he wants to wake up every stinking hour and a half, but if he does wake up, then I have to be there, or Tyler has to be there to put him back down. Mm-hmm. And after a few hours have passed, if he's still not going to sleep, then something's wrong. And if Tyler can't get him to calm down, then I have to get him to calm down. Mm-hmm. And so I think that for me, that's the hardest part, is that my schedule no longer aligns with my friends' schedules. So, mm-hmm. And I think that it's hard for me too, because I always feel like I have to apologize to my friends, because I feel like sometimes I feel that my friends probably feel like I don't care to hang out with them, or that they're not one of my main priorities, which they are a priority, but unfortunately they have to become a priority after my husband and my kid. And so I always feel guilty about it. Like, I feel like I have to apologize 1,000 times, or like I have to find a way to make it up to them. Whereas like someone who doesn't have a kid, that's just like, sorry, I'm busy with this, they probably really don't feel that bad about it. But for some reason, because I'm married and I have a kid, I feel really guilty about the fact that sometimes I just can't genuinely hang out with my friends.
Yeah. But on a total side note, we are not making this video to, complain about our circumstances or being married young by any means.
We're going to do 3 positives about being a parent too at the end.
Yeah. So I just don't. We don't want you guys to take this the wrong way, that we're complaining at all. We're just telling you,
y'all asked for the video.
We're just telling you what genuinely is hard for us, and what we deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 3 things about being my 3 positives about being married young and a young dad. I'm just gonna do 3 that tie into both.
Okay, yeah.
3 positives about my life. I'm gonna say, 1 is that straight up I have a kid, and that is the biggest blessing. God knew that my heart needed this little boy more than anything.
Mine.
Yeah, hers. But so yeah, just the fact that God and the Lord blessed me with this little boy. There's so many people out there that struggle to have children, and just the fact that the Lord trusted me and loved me and blessed me with this little boy is just amazing to me, and I can't even put into words how thankful I am for that. 2, I think just the fact that I married my best friend and I get to grow with my best friend. It can be really hard sometimes, but it can also it's also just so incredible all the time, because like when we literally every single day we grow together. Yeah. Like, whether that's financially, whether that's literally I'll be 21 counting down the days and I'm married. Like, every single day is just a growth one way or another.
Or learning something new about each other. I swear I learn something new about Tyler every day. And that's whether he knows it or not. Like, he'll tell me something, or I'll just realize oh, he needs me to be doing this rather than this, or oh, he needs me to be talking to him like this rather than this.
Right. And I think, yeah, so just literally having the opportunity and the blessing of growing with my best friend every single day from such a young age is just incredible. And then my third positive is just the fact I have a whole new motivation in everything in life. Every day I go to work, I'm not just going to work. I'm literally going to have the opportunity to provide for my family. Like, you just look at things so differently. Like, your perspective literally just does an entire 360 of life. Like, I look at everything so differently. Like, when we have bills come out, like, I look at building my credit. Like, when I get paid, I look at the opportunity to pay my bills and provide for my family. When I go to work, yes, there's days where I'm like, oh, really? Going to work? But, like, for the most part, going to work is, like, motivational for me, and, like, there's people out there that would kill to have my circumstances and the opportunity to go to work. So I look at everything so differently, and it's just such a blessing that, the Lord was able to shift my heart and my mindset at such a young age.
I mean, you basically stole all of the good pros. But I said this, like, basically all mine would tie into his too. But I also said this in our Welcome to Our Channel Q&A. I would say that another positive is the fact that I have someone that gets to rely on me 24/7, just because I'm a nurturer, and so I enjoy that. And like Tyler said, he motivates me, like, to do everything. Everything I do is motivation from Tyler and Karsten, and Karsten doesn't know that he motivates me yet because he obviously can't talk. He doesn't really, like, grasp and understand that. But Karsten genuinely, like, having a child of your own, it just pushes you to do better and to be better every single day. And I feel like even with the new year, he's made me want to be better, because it's been like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. Because we know that it'll better our family and it'll better his life. But then, like, the part about Tyler, like, being my motivation, like, he genuinely does motivate me every day. Like, he voices something motivational every single day, and I probably don't give him enough credit for that. But, like, he will tell me that he's proud of me, or he thanks me for something. And although thanking someone isn't exactly a form of motivation, it is motivation to me, because just being, like, hearing that I'm genuinely appreciated is motivation enough. And Tyler also motivates me because he doesn't complain. Like, Tyler will say that he's tired or that his stomach hurts or something like that, but he rarely complains, and I feel like that's very hard to find in a person. I complain more often than what I would like to admit. I'm a brat. Good job on not making a face. But yeah, that just is, I mean, seriously, one of the biggest pros is how much being married young and having a child young motivates you. It just makes you want to achieve more, because at such a young age, you already have so much that you want to make sure that you achieve so much more. And then, I don't really know, like, I guess I could say the second thing is that, I don't know if this is really a good thing or a bad thing, but Karsten's really having a child that I know is going to rely on me as his source of teaching him about the Lord has really motivated me to learn, like, for me myself to learn more about the Lord and to grow closer to the Lord. And so, like, this seems silly, but we read Tyler's children's Bible, Karsten's children's Bible every night before bed. And I think that I've honestly learned more just reading Karsten's Bible to him every night than what I have, like, reading my own Bible. I don't know if it's because it's dumbed down, like, it's much easier to understand and to comprehend, or if it's just because I know that one day he's going to be asking me questions about the Bible, and I have to be the one that's going to be able to answer it. And then just having someone other than yourself to pray over every single night before bed, it all just motivates me more and more to know the Lord better and to just talk to the Lord more. And then my third one would just have to be like the fact that I'm just blessed to have a kid and a husband, really, that helps me do everything and that wants me to be a part of their lives every single day.
Yeah.
That was the quietest yeah I've ever
Well, is that it?
Yeah, so
Well,
those were our 4 cons and then 6 pros, because the pros always outweigh the cons. They do.
all right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye.
First impression, you OP.